Hey everyone, Mr. Nowinski here. Today what I want to do is start a video series looking at important lists from different eras of American history. Today we're going to be starting with World War II. Always a good period to start with, one of the most iconic periods to start with. So in the chat box I put this link and you'll see it in the YouTube page, so check for the link below. And this is from a book that I picked up called the Social Studies Teacher's Book of Lists. So this is sort of the comprehensive social studies teacher's guides to these things. And what I want to do today is just kind of take a look over here at my terms contributed by World War II. At the bottom of this list, you also have two more lists, including famous World War II generals from the United States, as well as rationed items during World War II. So today we're taking a look at this list here, and there's a really good list of terms here that really do kind of span both the home and war fronts, right? Everything from the Blitzkrieg, right, the German attack on Poland and France using the combined arms technique, right? Both vehicles, infantry, and eventually would be the Air Force, essentially, to go after a specific thing. And there's lots of good ones here, right? Things from the word gizmo, right? Usually attributed to the specific mechanical components of tanks and planes and things like that, right? The concept of the Liberty ship, right? Um, we also have scorch earth policy, right? The term over here used by the Soviet Union as a way to basically burn the area as they're retreating. So you're basically removing any supplies that the soldiers could have, the German soldiers specifically, as they are moving eastward. And if you're looking for a comprehensive understanding of the Second World War, right, look no further to the list to the left. So if you guys have any questions about what any of these things mean, uh, let me know, right? And we start getting words like, for instance, the draft dodger, right? Someone who actually doesn't go to war, right? They avoid it specifically, right? Obviously, Rosie the Riveter, the very famous poster of of the female worker during the Second World War. A couple other big ones to mention are specifically, right, the wax and the waves, right, the WAACS and WAVES, and the WAFs too, actually, WAFS. And those actually represented women serving in the military during the 1940s, right? Over 150,000 women would be part of those three organizations as they were act as support for American men fighting in the war, right? And over 20 million American men are going to be drafted in this conflict, right? So it's a pretty um, important list of things, right? Another big thing to see over here is the concept of the five-star general. And we bring that up because for the most part, the five-star general is a term that's not really well used in American history. In fact, there's only a few times in American history where five-star generals were actually appropriate, right? Most of the major declared wars. And of course, that comes back from George Washington and his identification as basically the general of the army or the commander in chief. And there are five major five-star generals who served during the Second World War. There's General Omar Bradley, there's General Dwight D. Eisenhower, General Douglas MacArthur, General George Marshall, and then General Henry Arnold, or HAP as they call him. So those are good guys to look up too, right? And of course, the last item on the list, if you're able to take a look at the bottom here, are the items rationed during World War II. So anything from butter to canned goods, right? Coffee, cheese, gasoline, meats, right? These are all items that, for the most part, were you had a specific stamp from the U.S. government in order for you to go to the store and purchase those items. And stores were then, legally responsible to only procure you a certain amount of those goods if you had those ration cards. So as you're taking a look at the list to the left, right, and you're taking a look at the two lists below, this is really the big things that you'll need to know term-wise, right? And these give some good connections to the materials that we're learning, or you should be learning in class. So without further ado, I hope that was helpful and have a good day.